You have been following rules your whole life. Drink 8 glasses of water. Don't crack your knuckles. Stay out of the cold with a wet head. You heard them from parents, teachers, doctors. They repeated things they were told. None of them stopped to ask where these rules came from. Some were invented, then repeated until they sounded true. Your body has been regulating itself for 300,000 years. It existed long before anyone wrote a health rule. Biochemist Heinz Valton spent years searching for clinical evidence behind the 8 glasses rule. He published his findings in the American Journal of Physiology in 2002. He found nothing. Every rule you follow about your body was written by someone. Your body was not consulted. Myth 1, 8 glasses of water a day, the inherited regulator. The rule traces to a 1945 U.S. Food and Nutrition Board recommendation. It stated adults needed roughly 2.5 liters of water daily. The sentence that followed was quietly ignored. It said, most of this quantity is contained in prepared foods. The caveat disappeared. The number stayed. Your ancestors crossing the semi-arid steppe of Central Asia did not count glasses. They had one mechanism: thirst. That mechanism evolved over millions of years because water sources were unpredictable. The body signals at 2% fluid loss, well before any damage begins. Thirst is not a warning. It is a precise biological instrument your ancestors survived on. The cost of overriding that instrument is not dehydration. It is a lifetime of distrust toward your own signals. Myth 2, you lose most body heat through your head. The thermal system. This came directly from a 1950s U.S. Army survival manual. It claimed soldiers lost 40 to 45% of body heat through the head. The subjects wore full Arctic suits, every part covered except the head. Of course, the uncovered part dominated the reading. The British Medical Journal corrected the record in 2008. The head is 10% of body surface area. It loses heat accordingly. Your ancestors who survived the Younger Dryas, a 10-degree temperature drop in under a decade across northern Europe, did not survive by covering one part. They managed the whole body as a system. Core, circulation, calories. Cold does not enter through the head. It enters through an unprepared system. Managing the whole system takes more awareness than covering one part. Myth 3. Sugar makes children hyperactive. The pattern reader. 12 double-blind studies. 3 decades of research. A 1995 meta-analysis in the Journal of the American Medical Association reviewed all of them. None found a link between sugar and increased activity in children. In one study, mothers were told their sons had consumed large amounts of sugar. Some had not. The mothers who believed their sons had sugar rated their behavior as significantly more hyperactive. The sugar was irrelevant. The belief did the work. Your brain did not evolve to detect truth. It evolved to detect threat. In the Pleistocene grasslands of East Africa, wrongly suspecting danger cost nothing. Wrongly dismissing it cost everything. You did not inherit a truth detection system. You inherited a survival detection system. The cost is false patterns, built fast, felt as certainty, very hard to undo. If you have believed any of these your whole life, you are not alone. Most people have. Hit the like button. It tells us this content reaches people who actually want to understand their bodies. We are only halfway through. Myth 4. Humans only use 10% of their brains. The metabolic inheritor. No neuroscientist has ever proposed this. Brain imaging shows activity across virtually all regions, even during sleep. Damage to almost any area produces measurable loss. There is no silent 90% waiting to be unlocked. The brain consumes 20% of the body's total energy. It is 2% of body weight. Evolution does not maintain expensive tissue that serves no function. Your ancestors who survived post-glacial Europe, where every calorie was earned through days of effort, could not afford an organ running at 10%. You are not carrying untapped potential. You are carrying the result of relentless pruning. The myth persists because it flatters. There is not more. There is this. Myth 5. Reading in dim light damages your eyes. The low-light witness. The American Academy of Ophthalmology has stated this directly. Reading in dim light does not damage eyesight. It causes temporary eye strain. Eye strain resolves completely after rest. No structural damage occurs. Your ancestors who survived the long winters of northern latitudes tracked animals and passed down knowledge, all in low, flickering firelight. The eye adapted to variable light across hundreds of thousands of years. The eye that adapted to firelight did not break under it. The real cost is different. Chronic eye strain signals something your ancestors never had: sustained close focus at fixed distance. That is a modern problem. The light is not the cause. The last myth is the one most people push back on hardest. Subscribe before it starts. Every video on this channel takes something you already carry and shows you what it actually means. You should not miss the next one. Myth 6. Cracking your knuckles causes arthritis. The joint that remembered. Donald Unger cracked the knuckles on his left hand every day for 60 years. Never the right. At the end, he documented both hands. No arthritis in either. He received the Ig Nobel Prize in Medicine in 2009. The sound is not bone, it is gas. Synovial fluid surrounds every joint. Pressure creates a gas bubble. The bubble collapses, that is the sound. Arthritis develops from cartilage degradation, immune dysfunction, or metabolic deposits, not gas. Your ancestors who spent their lives gripping, climbing, and hauling had joints under genuine sustained stress. The synovial system evolved to manage that stress across an entire lifetime of physical work. The joint that sounds loudest is not the joint that breaks first. The real cost of this myth is the habit of reading normal body sounds as damage. Your body makes noise. It always has. That noise is a system working. Every rule in this video was written after your body already existed. The thirst mechanism predates the water rule by millions of years. The eye adapted to firelight long before anyone called firelight dangerous. The joints have been doing their job since before anyone decided they were doing it wrong. The question is how long you will keep ignoring the body that survived everything to get here.